Hello everybody, welcome to that daily Minecraft stream, the show where I stream Minecraft daily. How are you all doing? I hope you're having a good time. I'm just getting a little bit of repair on this shovel today because I guess I might need it before we get into it. And then we're going to work on the big old scaffolding outside our rocket and all those usual things. If you are new here, this is a show where I play Minecraft in survival every day except Monday, because Monday is my day off. And except for most of this last year, because I took a kind of light schedule year, what with COVID and everything. It was a crazy time. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Except it was really just the worst of times. That was it. There was no best to it. How is everybody? Welcome. You may have noticed I've been late a lot lately. I promised myself I would not kick off with an apology, but just an explanation that I've been walking in the mornings, and I keep setting off later than I intended to. So I keep having to bump these a little bit later, but I'm gonna keep making sure they do happen. How are you guys? Are you well? Are you happy? I will be through to the chat properly in just a moment. I'm not there yet. I'm just giving the stream time to kick in properly because the other day the stream was being a little funky, so I wanted to just keep an eye on it. And no sound. This is an issue. No sound. Now this could be. Sometimes this is a thing. Yeah, sometimes this is a sound issue in the audio here. I'll just go to my settings. You all want to look at that. Let's just try this. It might be the capture card. Okay. Cool. It's doing this again. What? I beg your pardon? Because I took the headphones out mid-episode? Well, this is a strange day. Hi, everybody. It's one of those moments. Okay, I'm going to remove the video device and re-add it. Hopefully it won't take too long. I'll be back in just a second. Because then we'll get some audio. Hello, by the way, to Vivitator Universe. Hello to Sinister Minister. Hello to Michelle Meyer. Hello to Gus. Hello to... That's everybody. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm having a weird day today. I'm just going to try my main username and see. Okay, yeah, no, I do have to reinstall Minecraft. Fortunately, this won't take too long. What a weird day. Uninstall all. Here we go. This is a moment. I will hopefully get this back to you all in just a moment. Install on internal storage. I'm sure this will be fun. Yeah, I don't own any DLC. Speed it up. So how you doing? Sinister Minister says behind the scenes with Owen. I know what that is. It's because I unplugged this cable. I wonder if this cable is what's been causing the weird audio issues. Hopefully it won't take too long. Minecraft is a pretty quick install, and you can look at this beautiful... What image do I have loaded in? It's Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. We can't have that one. Yeah, I'm having a weird day today. It's, generally speaking, it's proven to be a quite odd day. Oh my god, it's saying sorry, this needs to be reinstalled. Wow. Okay, this is crazy. Hold on. It's saying sorry, this needs to be reinstalled completely. Enjoy looking at this beautiful screen. I hope you're... Hold on, I'll tell you what I'll do. I will load in the old TDMS thumbnail. And then you guys can look at that. And then at least there'll be something to look at while I try and fix this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart the Xbox, just in case. That is why. How you doing, everybody? If you're enjoying the stream, please do leave a like and all that stuff. And I hope you're having a good time. Sorry for the technical issues. Yeah, so I think this cable that my headphones use is actually a little off. I'm going to switch ends with it, just see if that helps. I think I need to get another audio cable. One that won't screw everything up. I don't know. Hi, everybody. So it said I need to install the game again, which is weird. We are currently trying to obtain some Minecraft action. If this does not work, what I'll do is I will... Oh, okay, it hasn't immediately... Yeah, okay. Cool. It actually just needed a console reinstall. Fortunately, it's fast enough to reinstall Minecraft that you can't just do that to try. Imagine if I'd been playing Red Dead Redemption 2. That would have been madness. Sinister Minister says, try Control Alt Delete. The world's finest webcomic. Okie dokie. Right, video capture device. All this because the audio wasn't working. Isn't that a strange world that we live in? I have to add this, the free Ben 10 creator item. You know what? I think I'd probably rather not have the Ben 10 creator item. I'm not a huge Ben 10 fan. And this is mean, I guess, because Ben 10, you know, it's not the worst video game franchise in the world. But okay, now we can't change user. Well, this is going well, isn't it? We're having a delightful day. Okay, hold on. Let me give a little tweak here. More behind the scenes technical stuff. It's also trying to, I know what's going on there. It hasn't signed me out of my username. Hi everyone! Are you having fun today? Are you... What a shitty stream. Alright, let's try this again. So what's going on with you guys? What are you up to? Hello to Rick Swinkles. I hope you're well. This is, man, you know, before I started, I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to stream today. And then I was like, no, it's okay. Don't worry, you can stream. It's fine. You can just, you don't have to kind of because I had left it so late. I was like, you don't have to do an hour and roll in. Everything will be all completely okay. And the first 11 minutes is me just failing to even get the game started. Bloody hell. Alright, so we're going to get a little bit more repair on this shovel. And then we'll kick in and do some more on that scaffold. I hope you guys are having a good time. In other news, Sinister Minister says this is a new format for this stream. It certainly is. In other news, I have finished Mass Effect 2. I don't know if people saw the stream last night. I have no recollection of who was there, because I was like 85% asleep. But I finished Mass Effect 2 last night. I had a really great time with it. And then I was like, I'm probably going to wait a couple of days before I roll on to Mass Effect 3. And now the next day is here, and I'm like, I want to play Mass Effect 3. I wish to carry across my choices. I want to see, I want my narrative to continue. Give me my beautiful Mass Effect 3. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I roll into it today, or do something else? And I'm going to put out the same question I put out to you guys yesterday, which is, as we'll probably be finished with Mass Effect fairly soon. Now, Mass Effect 3 is not a long game, but if you think about how long 1 and 2 took, at the very least we're talking about 2 weeks max. Are there any games out that you guys would like to see me stream? Do you have any thoughts? I will not be going back to Kingdom Hearts. I keep trying to tell myself I want to do that. Do I wish to return to Kingdom Hearts? And then I was like, nah. I never even did that last boss, I think. That stupid one from Fantasia. Because it just defeated me. And I was not having a good time at all. But other than that, maybe I should do one of the other Kingdom Hearts games. Kingdom Hearts 3, perhaps. Which at least runs at 60 FPS on X. What games do you want to see? I'm trying to put some feelers out for games you want to see me stream. I was considering streaming Outriders, because I noticed Outriders is updating on the Xbox. I was like, oh yeah, Outriders has got an update. I should return to that. And then I remembered it was one of the worst games I've played in a while. Okay, do you know what? That's being mean to Outriders. It wasn't that bad. It was fairly bad, but it wasn't atrocious. So yeah, Mass Effect 2, I finished it, and I have to say, that ending was great. I saved everybody, which I was genuinely surprised, because one of the things, if you ever look up Mass Effect, one of the FAQs you will see all the time is how to save everybody, and I did not read those. Favorite Tater says, maybe after Mass Effect you could do a second new Minecraft world. No, Minecraft is once a day, every day. This will be a new second game. I wouldn't do 2 Minecraft streams a day. That would be silly. I was very careful not to look up anything about who to save and stuff like that, because I don't like playing games like that. Like, the way those choices plan out, and, like, for me, I really hate it when, this is something I really loathed about playing the Telltale games, like The Walking Dead and stuff. For me, I really loathed when people would come in and spoil the consequences of choices and then act like they're helping you. Because when you make a decision in a game and that has an outcome that is sad, to me, that's wonderful. Not that a sad thing happened, but that's why you play a game like Mass Effect, right? When you make choices and it turns out those choices had consequences you didn't predict. That's the joy of a game with choices. So I was very, very careful not to do any guides. I didn't want anything influencing my choices. And so when I found out that I'd managed to save everybody, I was legitimately thrilled. Like, I was really amazed. I could not believe it. But I guess I did go to great lengths to do all the loyalty missions. So I guess it's one of those things where maybe it's just a case of if you do all the loyalty missions, everybody lives. I don't know. King Ash says, do you play Rainbow Six Siege? I have never played Rainbow Six Siege. It was, I don't know if it still is, but it was on Game Pass for a while. But I've never played it. The thing is, I don't do a lot of, the problem is, I always say to people, what games would you like to see me stream? And people always suggest multiplayer games. And then I always feel bad, because my next answer is, I don't really do multiplayer. But this is something people do a lot. I'll be like, hey, so I'm just streaming, and then, what do you want to see me stream next? Minecraft server? No, not like that. Like a game you want me to see me play. Okay, play this game with me that I play. Okay, it's not really a game you want to see me stream. I feel bad because it's like I'm shutting things down as soon as people suggest them. But I don't really do multiplayer very much. Some games I do, very rarely. Or some games I'll play with my buddy Jonathan. But for the most part, I do single player stuff. But you know, this is on me, because I just throw things out like, what would you like to see me play? And then expect people not to just suggest the trendiest stuff they're playing, right? Because they're having a great time with it. Why wouldn't they? I'll tell you what I've been thinking about doing. I've been thinking about, because I got through all of Mass Effect 1 and 2 pretty quickly. I've been enjoying that kind of doing a big franchise of stuff. I've been thinking about doing the Arkham games again. So I would do Arkham... I'd probably do Asylum and City on console. I think, actually, you know what I might do? I might do Asylum and City specifically, and Origins. I might actually go out of my way to specifically make sure I'm doing them on PC for 60 FPS, because I've never played those games through properly in 60 FPS before, and I like them. You can actually play Arkham City on console in 60 FPS, but you've got to put the Return to Arkham version in and make sure the console does not install the update, which is interesting. King Ash says, will you be playing Far Cry 6 and Dying Light 2? Dying Light 2, probably not. I never played the first Dying Light, and it looked good. I don't think it looked like a bad game, but I have this thing, I can be a little OCD about it. I don't like playing sequels out of order unless it's like a big game and the first one is just inaccessible to me, or it's the kind of game where, like Modern Warfare 2, I think you can play. You know, there's certain games, like Destiny 2 these days is very made for jumping in, but I can be a little OCD about it. I can be quite OCD about that, actually. I don't like playing games out of sequence. I never used to be like that, mainly because I used to be the kind of person who never finished games. I believe I have ADHD, and I was the kind of guy who, when I would play games, when I had my PlayStation 1, and a big box of copied games, I think that's enough repair there. I'd hook up my PlayStation, and I'd get like a pile of 5 games out, and I would just like cycle them, rather than ever sit and play one to completion. I was never someone who could finish games. But ever since I've gotten good at it, I now don't like to play things out of order. I have this thing where I was like this as a kid. When I would play with... I used to have this weird fixation. This is going to make me sound like such an oddball. I promise this is an answer to your question in a roundabout sort of way. When I was a kid, whenever I would play with, like, toys, like, I used to have these toys called Z-Bots I liked, and they had the good guys and the villains, called the Voids. And the story was that the Voids had been affected with a virus and they'd split off. Every time I would sit and play with those toys, I would always have to start the story from the beginning again, which is weird. Like, I had both the bases and all the vehicles, and always, like, the narrative. That was something I used to do as a kid a lot, when I would play Pretend. used to have this fixation of every time I'd have to begin from the beginning. So I'm kind of like that. My brain likes sequence. I will sometimes watch whole series of movies that I don't like, just because I wish to watch every entry in them and see how they move from one entry to the next. It's a thing I like. It's an oddity, I know. It's unusual. It does interest me. So Dying Light 2, probably not. Just because I haven't played the first one, basically. And I probably will one day play the first one, because I actually liked what I saw of the first one. So no. But yeah, that's that's that. Resident Evil... no, that's my brain. I'm looking at Beat MC, and my brain saw that as Resident Evil. I'm not with it today, you may have noticed. Far Cry 6. Far Cry 6, that's one where I wouldn't mind playing them out of order, because the Far Cry sequels aren't sequential narratively like that, whereas I don't know if Dying Light is. Dying Light might be, I have no idea. Far Cry 6, I'm probably going to play. I probably won't play it at launch, just because... I'm kind of behind on Far Cry, if you know what I mean. I played Far Cry 1 back in the day, which I didn't really like Far Cry 1. It's not my favorite of the Far Cry series by far. I didn't really like it very much. I actually think Crysis is a better sequel to Far Cry. I think it's more like Far Cry than Far Cry 2 is. Far Cry 2 I like. Far Cry 3 I really liked. I played that. Didn't really care for Blood Dragon. And then Far Cry 4 I never played. And then Far Cry Primal I played. And then Far Cry 5, I kept never buying it. And the reason I kept never buying it is, no offense to Far Cry. I like Far Cry. But Far Cry is very samey, right? So all the time, every time I would see Far Cry 5, you would be in a shop and you'd see Far Cry 5 and it would be like $50. Well, pounds, because I don't live in a dollar country. £50 for Far Cry 5. And then you'd see Far Cry 4 and it would be like £12, £10, £8. So I didn't buy Far Cry 5 for a really, really, really long time, because I kept being like, well, when I want a Far Cry game, Far Cry 4's right there, right? Far Cry 4's just sitting there, ready to hug me in its warm embrace when I want a Far Cry game. So I didn't buy it for a really long time, and then it went so long that I did end up buying New Dawn in a sale. I got New Dawn in a sale with 5 and all the DLC. So 6, I probably will play it at some point. I probably won't pick it up straight away, just because, like, I still have 5 to play. I still have 4 to play. Do you know what? That's a franchise I'd love to play through, except for Far Cry 1. I have no interest in replaying Far Cry 1. I just don't like it. It comes from an era of PC shooters that just don't do a lot for me. It's sort of pre-Doom 3. After Doom 3, everything changes, and first-person shooters get really, really, really good. Whereas I find Far Cry... Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Far Cry came out afterwards. Far Cry 1, to me, is the end of a long line of shooters that were good, but hadn't got really good yet, you know? Doom 3, Half-Life 2, games like that, they begin a new era that's much better. Rajashi says, did you ever lose your progress? I'm really sorry, it took me ages to get to your comment, Rajashi, I'm sorry. If you guys are enjoying the stream, leave a like, let's get more viewers in, let's do it. Rajashi says, did you ever lose your progress ever in any game? It felt really bad. Yeah, I did. What about Fortnite and Roblox? I don't play those. I don't play big ongoing games. What I'm looking for to stream next is not some, like... I'll narrow it down this so I can be a bit more specific. I'm not looking for some, like, big ongoing game you play forever, like Roblox and stuff like that, because I have that. I've got Minecraft, right? And that's going to carry on. It's something to replace Mass Effect, a game where you play to the end of the story and then you're done. That's what it'll be. Because I keep those going at once, right? Minecraft is my ongoing game. That's why when people suggest stuff where it's the kind of thing where, even Rainbow Six Siege is the kind of thing you play it forever and ever and ever, and then, you know, you move on to the next Rainbow Siege. I don't play games like that for my second stream that much, because Minecraft is that game for me. It's my ongoing game. And then my second stream is usually stuff like the new Assassin's Creed, the new Arkham game, the new... you know what I mean? I'm just not the type to play games forever like that. Let's see. King Ash says there's Dying Light, then Dying Light the following, then Dying Light 2. Yeah, I remembered there was like a side Dying Light, wasn't there? And then wasn't there a VR game? I could be wrong. So yeah, did I ever lose a ton of progress on a game? I did. And it was actually really annoying. There is one specific, very, very specific occasion that I'm thinking of. And the reason I'm thinking of it is because it's a game I just finished playing the first time I played it. So I was saying I just finished Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2, that game first came out in around 2010. And I bought it at launch on PS3. So it had come out the year before on 360. And then it came out on PS3. And when it came out on PS3... Sinister Ministers, they moved the release date back to 2022 for I Am Jesus Christ. No! So Mass Effect 2, when it first came out on PS3, it had this patch. Rick says, Owen, if you're smart, set 4 saplings to each other for a big spruce that will have 4 times more logs than regular spruces. Yeah, people say this. I am convinced this doesn't actually work on Bedrock. People always talk about it. I am going to answer your question, Rajashi. I'm sorry, I'm doing the short ones as I go. People always say this, but look, I'm convinced this doesn't work for spruce. It works for dark oak. You have to grow dark oak like this. But look, I'll do one. And we'll leave it there, and we'll see if it ever grows. Because the last time I tried this, because people said that it works, it didn't work. It might have changed since then, but I'm convinced this doesn't actually work on Bedrock. Vivitator says it works on Bedrock. Well, we'll see. Look, I'm happy to be proven wrong. I will tell you, people told me this worked before. For spruce specifically, it works for dark oak. But every time I've tried this for spruce, it hasn't worked. But again, I am happy to be proven wrong. I'm always happy to test it when people suggest it. But, yeah. Anyway, so I was playing Mass Effect 2 back in the day. And when Mass Effect 2 came out on PS3, it was a port a year out from the 360 version. And it came with a pass called the Cerberus Network Pass. And the Cerberus Network Pass was part of the old online pass trend, which was a thing they did for a while, where they required you to use online passes to well, they didn't require you. What it was it was a trend that went through with games where they would give you content if you bought the game new, but that content would cost $15 or so if you bought it pre-owned, right? And that was a way of basically trying to attack the pre-owned market. It was a really common thing at the time. It was a phase they went through. So I got Mass Effect 2 on PS3, and it had quite a few bugs. And because I had this Cerberus Pass, it came with this DLC. Right, let's let these rot away a little bit so we can plant the rest. It came with this DLC. And this DLC was related to the DLC we've actually played on Mass Effect 2, which is where you have this vehicle that looks a little bit like the Mako, but it hovers across lava rocks. Now, I hadn't done much of the DLC, because the way I felt at the time, and I still kind of feel like this, I don't like doing DLC straight away in a game if they give you DLC. I actually don't love games where when you put the DLC in, it front loads a ton of content that isn't there when you play the game normally. I'm not a fan of that. If I play the game, like, put DLC in, sure, put missions integrated in, but, like, I really hate it when you're playing the game as a beginner, and a piece of DLC comes along that gives you a bunch of, like, really powerful weapons right from day one, just because you bought the Game of the Year edition or what. I don't like that. If I'm playing a game from the beginning, I want the beginning experience, right? I don't want the DLC bought me a ton of extra crap experience. I don't like it. So I didn't do the Mass Effect 2 DLC until I'd been playing that game for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I was about 2/3 of the way through the game, I'd say. I'd played a lot of it. A lot of characters, a lot of powering up characters, everything like that. And finally I decided I was going to tackle the DLC. So I did one of these missions, and this mission is a mission where you're in a vehicle, like a hovercraft, that hovers over lava and hops. Kind of. And, right, that's enough for now. And it comes to a section where you've got to go across this lava river. And you've got to jump across these stones. And one of the stones glitches. And the glitch this stone does causes me to fall right through it into the lava and die, which is annoying. Then, for some reason, when the game reloads, it saves this kind of weird status where the craft isn't capable of standing on the lily pads, the stone lily pads, and it saved my game there. And I hadn't been keeping multiple save files. Rick Swickle says, Owen, bone meal the spruce. You guys don't need to spam the bone meal. Please, I am reading the chat. I'll just leave it for now. We'll let it grow. I'll bone meal it when I go back, because I'm still working on stuff. I've put the 4x4 spruce down, but I'm not devoting the entire stream to continually managing the spruce. I'll go over there next time. I have a crafting table, I'll make some bone meal when I go back, but I'm still working on my build. Please don't spam messages in the chat when you want me to do something, like, particularly when they're still on the screen. It's not like I'm not gonna, it's not like I'm gonna see it any faster. And so it locked my game in there, and that was the most I ever lost of progress, because it saved me on that one mission, and I was stuck on that, like, I couldn't do it then. The game was completely wrecked. So I could not play the rest of Mass Effect 2 until I had, until I was ready to basically just make my own game from scratch again, start the game from the beginning again. That was it. And that was probably the most I ever lost just a ton of progress in a game. And it's funny because I'm replaying Mass Effect now, and that's still my defining memory of Mass Effect 2. Getting stuck on that one stupid mission to the point where I had to start the whole game again from scratch. And it was not pleasant, I will tell you. Because that game's a fun game, but the length of time it takes to get into it, into the main event. And, like, it's not a fast game either, you know what I mean? It's not a game you just roll through. It's not stupidly long like Skyrim or anything like that, but it's okay, how many blocks away from the end is this one? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I don't have any just bare planks. It's going to be difficult to get this at the same edge as... the same size, because we're not starting from exactly the same point. Oh, hey, it has grown in the 4x4 spruce. Yeah, last time I tried to do that, it just did not work. It's been one of these things people very frequently try and get me to do, but every time it hasn't been effective. But there you go. Proof at last. Okay, let's see. Hello to Games for You. How you doing? It's not a brutal question, Rick. It's a rude question. It's not something you should ask people. Right, let's see. Is that directly over there? I think it is. Okay, let's build another floor in here. I'm pretty good, Games for You. Thanks for asking. I'm just working on this this scaffold for the rocket build. This should go up platform by platform. Until we match the height of the rocket and form a kind of support structure. Now I'm going to build this platform like this. This is going to take a few... And like, this is going to be a slow process, this particular step. I'm hoping it doesn't take too long. The big difficulty is going to be that each... Like, the problem is it's not a simple build each layer. But the advantage to that is there's enough detail each layer that it's going to look sufficiently impressive that it has been built when it's done. Once each of the layers is done, we're going to put a set of support structures in, so it'll it will... Oh good, I was worried the camera would completely break. It'll connect to the rocket, essentially, in a few places. It's actually a little far from the rocket, but I don't think too far. I hope not too far. It's going to depend on how we do that. Bear says, Minecraft was funny for me today. I think it has something to do with the update next week. Maybe. When I started the stream today, it kept saying I had to reinstall the game, which I did do, and then that didn't actually work. People got to see some technical issues behind the scenes. Yeah, sorry, Rick. I don't answer questions about my personal life or about stuff like that, which is the thing I was trying to say. I stream. I talk about things that I think are interesting. I don't go into detail about anything really about my life personally, nor encourage people to ask, because the truth is, you never really know, A, you never really know who's watching, I guess, and B, I guess I kind of discourage people from connecting with me like that, if that makes sense. It's not, the simplest way I put it is, I don't offer people that, if you know what I mean. Oh, I put trapdoors instead of... I hate that. I hate how much the planks look like trapdoors. Yeah, I'm just not interested in connecting with people like that, if you know what I mean. I don't want to encourage... Some people are very open. I'm not. I do my streams, and this is what I offer. I'm always here to stream. I'm always here to talk about streaming and about ideas, things I think are funny, and I'll sometimes talk about my family and things going on in my life in a non-specific way, but I draw that line there, personally. And I don't think you should push people on their lines. I think when somebody says, yeah, I'm not going to answer that, you leave it there. Favorite Tater says, Owen, when is Bedrock 1.17 coming out? So there's an update on Wednesday, I think? No, Tuesday. There's an update on Tuesday that is, I think it's 1.17. It's the first half of the caves update. It's not the whole thing. It's not complete yet. I'm so glad that did actually work, because people have been telling me for a long time this works. And I've been saying, like, it never works for me. Because it hasn't. But this is actually useful. A large amount of spruce. But yeah, the proper update is coming out. The full update, I don't know when it's all going to be out, but the next part is Tuesday. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to be doing some more tutorials and stuff. I've really got to start, again, I always say this, I've really got to start just using Java more to kind of get those updates underway for people. But I like to have those updates out. I like to kind of discover it with everybody else on the main day. There's always a kind of a little push when there's a new update day. And I've been lax with my tutorials and stuff. I mean, I think a lot of people have been lax this year. Like the last sort of 2020, 2021 early, all that stuff. It's been an odd year for kind of productivity in general. Nobody's on top of their game. I certainly haven't been. Right, I'll leave it. I'll get the saplings back in a few. Let's go skip the night before the monsters collapse too much. Baby Potato says, how do we download the update? I'm new to Minecraft. First time I have to update. What are you playing on? Because it depends on what you're playing on. But most systems will automatically update when you kick it. If you're on a console. So, depending on what your console settings are. If you're on a console, if you're on a PlayStation or an Xbox, it'll give you a prompt when you start. Saying, there is an update. Do you wish to update? If you're on Windows 10, I don't know. It might give you an update already. Baby Potato says Bedrock. No, I mean, are you on a PC? Are you on a Switch? Are you on an Xbox? Are you depending on what you're on, depends on how it works. Windows 10, I don't know off the top of my head. I can't remember the last time I updated something in Windows 10. I think a lot of stuff will have automatic updates these days. I think you'll get a prompt when you start. But I don't play on Windows 10, so off the top of my head. And I don't use many apps from the Windows 10 App Store either. Oh, my beautiful bed! There's a skeleton in here, giving me a hard time. Alright, you've done it now. I've got a bow too. Yeah! Didn't know that, did you? God, I wish I had more arrows. That would have gone really well if I'd had more arrows. Oh, I'm coming for you. You got me that time. Oh, I'm coming for you again. Eventually I have a road that long enough that this is... Alright, sorry. Where's he gone? Oh, that was it. He died. That went well. That was so funny. Okay. Back to the scaffolding. And see you later, Rick. Okay. Get a few more. Don't make trapdoors. Don't you open that trap door. That's a TV show nobody will remember. Partly because it wasn't on American TV. It was good. Favorite Tater says, Owen, but will it ask before updating a world or update a world on its own? Well, so usually what happens... what happens when Bedrock... what happens when Minecraft updates usually is... worlds don't get converted to a new update. What happens is the world generation algorithm is basically whatever your latest version is, right? And Minecraft worlds aren't made all in advance when you first make your world. They're made as you explore them. So what happens is when you update, nothing happens to your world, but the next time you head out into a new area you haven't explored, that part of the world will change. That's what normally happens. That said, because the Caves update is changing a lot of the heights and stuff, it might be a case that a new world is needed to get new features. I don't know. Someone probably knows. Someone in the chat can probably tell you, because they've probably actually come out and explained whether you're going to have a new world or not yet. This one might be different, I guess. Since they're changing the heights on stuff, they might add a whole bunch of new levels just underneath, like when they added the aquatic update. But for the most part, you usually don't have to do anything, unless it's a significantly big update that they're going to have to convert all that to you. In which case, it'll just ask you at the beginning, I think. It'll say, do you wish to convert this world to blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I don't know. It depends. It depends on the update. It depends on what they're adding. It depends on all that kind of stuff. But it'll be fairly self-explanatory when you play, I think. It won't... If the changes to the world... I'll tell you what it'll be. If the update is going to change your world in such a way that it might break things you've built already, it'll ask. If the update's... And you'll just be able to click and go, yes, I want to, or no, I don't. If the update's going to be largely compatible with everything you've got already, it won't, and it'll just change new parts of the world as you reach them, basically. That's what's happened in the past. But the truth is, until it's out, we don't really know. You don't know exactly how it's going to work. It might turn out that this is extensive enough that it's just going to say, you're going to have to convert this to such and such an update. Hello to Helena, how you doing? Is there a way to keep a world an old version? Again, Vivitator, I don't know. It until the update's in our hands, and it tells you explicitly, I don't know. They might have told you this already, but I have no way of answering this for you, Vivitator. Sorry. I'm not trying to be difficult. I have no idea. Usually, depending on the update, usually no, if it's an update that primarily applies to new world generation, but then it will keep whatever was already existing in New World. Like when the aquatic update came in, okay, we're gonna get the next layer here. You didn't get a choice to not have the sea with the new fish and things. You had to have them, basically. Potato says, but if it asks you or not, will you tell me? Well, on Tuesday, I'll probably be streaming. I don't know when the update will come in. I probably won't stream until the update lands. But I'll probably be streaming, so I'll try and capture exactly what the process is. Yeah, so it'll be what it is, really. We'll capture the exact process and work with that. Right, let's see, how many of these we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 more. But yeah, I'll do my best to cover any relevant information like that. Okay. Not too bad. Start building the next one up. Careful. Careful. I feel like Jar Jar Binks. Steady! Right, I think that's the right height. What do you guys think? Well, you know what? If it's wrong, we can fix it later. We can fix it when we put the supports in. That won't be too difficult. I think after this layer, I'm going to try and just drop down and see how the whole thing's looking. I mean, we're not even halfway the height yet. Do I have an anvil in this world? I do, yeah, it's over by my mob spawner. I use it when I enchant stuff, which I don't need to enchant stuff very often. Yeah, I think I might have made this too small. You know what I should do is just count them. I should count the previous platform. So I know exactly how far it needs to be. And then that's done. Let's do that now. 1, 2, 3. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. So long as it's consistent, I can live with that. That I can cope with this discordance in my life. Oh yeah, I also need to put some supports on there just to... Okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm not counting properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect! Hooray! Hello to Architect, who says, do you play on PC? No, I play on console. I'm actually thinking about, I haven't decided yet, but I'm thinking about when this update comes in, if it is extensively going to modify the world and it's time for a new world, which I won't do straight away because I have to do tutorials and stuff and I'll need the existing things, but I'm thinking about switching back to PlayStation because, don't get me wrong, I love my Xbox, it's very delightful, but PS5 is bedrock now, it gets updates, not there's a huge amount of difference between, like, Minecraft to Minecraft, version to version, PS5 and Xbox Series S, like, there's no difference, when you're playing Minecraft, it's not a big difference, but I'm trying to sort of whittle it down to the console that I'm playing the most, if you know what I mean, and for other things, but then, I guess, like, switching back and forth between Xbox and PlayStation is awkward. But then the only reason I'm using the PlayStation a lot at the moment is because of Mass Effect. The reason it's awkward, weirdly enough, by the way, is nothing to do with the capture, because I just have to flip my HDMI cable around. One of the big issues is sound. So, the Xbox does something really, really useful, which is it will still output sound to a TV when you put headphones in the controller. So if I want to capture my audio, I can, right? I can put my headphones on, which I do so that the audio doesn't pick up on my mic, and then I just capture the sound, right? That's what I do. Much fun is had by all. Perfect. But on the PlayStation, it insists on muting if you put headphones into the controller. It will not put headphones into the controller and output sound to the TV. It refuses, which is annoying because it means there's no way of getting the 3D audio and streaming, which is a shame because I like the 3D audio. But it also means there's no way to just plug headphones into the controller and then capture audio. And this is quite frustrating because oh, it's so dark. I can barely see what I'm doing here. It's quite frustrating because... Actually, I should put some torches on here as well when I go down. What it means is, for me to capture PlayStation audio, what I have to do is put a headphone cable into the TV. But then, to not capture audio on the PlayStation, I need to take the headphone cable out of the TV. So, every time I switch from capturing on the Xbox versus capturing on the PlayStation, I have to get around the back of the TV because my headphones aren't in a convenient place and hook it up. And it's quite annoying. It wouldn't be so much of a problem if it was like my old TV. My previous TV that I used to use, the one that popped live on stream, if you remember that. I had a TV that exploded live on air and made a really loud popping noise. That TV wouldn't have been a problem because that TV, when you plugged headphones in, you could still have audio out too. So, yeah. That TV was good. The Xbox's way of handling it is good. The TV and PlayStation that insists on not letting you just choose whether or not to output both, I hate that. And I don't really get it. Like, why... I don't like hardware that just goes, you know what? Oh, hello to Heinrich, how you doing? And hello to Red Rum, how are you? And hello to Giselle. Well, oh, a lot of old faces today as well. I really don't like that when consoles or hardware just decides, nah, I've just decided no one's going to want to do that, so we're not going to let you do it. We're just going to put that restriction in. We're not going to output to HDMI if someone plugs into the controller. There's no reason anybody would want to do that. And the thing is, I really feel like the reason it does that is because they actually want to make it harder for you to stream, so you have to use the share button. I don't want to be paranoid like that, but it just feels like that's the reason why. They just want to make it so that it is just a little bit more awkward for you to not use the share button. Right, I'm going to put a couple of torches on here just because I don't want monsters spawning on them. And then I'm going to skip the night and try and get a little distance to just see how this looks. This is supposed to look like a support structure next to the rocket itself to keep it up and secure before its big launch. Oh, I can't put torches there because it's slabs. But that's fine because it also means that mobs can't really spawn there. Blarp! How are you guys doing? Yeah, it's been a while, Red Rum. It's nice to see you. If people have unusual names, I do remember them, which is nice. Okay, let's get a little distance and just see how this is looking, because I'm finishing up in a few. I just want to kind of show off the whole effect, so we can get a feel for it. It's pretty good. So that tower's going to be the same height as the rocket. And then it's going to have a little frame extending from it holding the rocket in place, I guess, is kind of the vibe. Not too bad. I'm pretty pleased with that. All in all, I think this has been a fun build. I think it looks good. I think it feels fun. It's going to be easier when that framework's built in, though. I like that frame. That build that we're currently working on. It's a little different because obviously scaffold and stuff I built before, but very rarely have I been sort of precise about it because I want it to look official and stable and like it's actually intended to be enjoyed visually. Alright. Well, let's roll away. I think it's time for me to finish up there. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all being here as always. I'll be back later with another stream, which might be the beginning of Mass Effect 3, or I might wait. I haven't decided. It might be a different game. Thank you so much for watching. You're all very wonderful people. I will see you all in my next stream, which will be Mass Effect tonight, or whatever game I do. and then I'm off tomorrow because Monday is my day off, and we'll be back with Minecraft Tuesday. Thanks so much for watching, guys.